There we go. Hello, my name is Gabby, or Lua, depending. Um, and I have decided by random thought to think about obituaries and what we want in our future. I took a philosophy class last year called Death and Dying, and it really opened my mind up to a lot of different things. I've taken a lot of philosophy classes since and before that, and it's always been something that I've been really interested in. I don't have very many subscribers. I am very pretty much new to YouTube, even though I have stuff on there from previous years, but I just thought, on a whim, I should give this a shot. So I went ahead and pulled up what I wrote for my obituary when I was in the class. And another thing that I am thinking of is what's really important to us? What do we want to accomplish? What do we want our obituaries to say? What do we want people to think about us by the time our time comes? It is said that we are immortal. Not in the way that a lot of people think about immortality, where we will literally never die. Our bodies will always be with us and will always be here. That's at least one way other people would think about it. Another way is reincarnation, so you could probably be immortal that way, though you wouldn't necessarily be, because you would be a different person or a different thing. But the way that I think about immortality is by living on through our family members and through our friends and other people that we come into contact with. And I was just watching a Vsauce video where he had mentioned that one day our names would no longer be spoken. He had quoted someone who said, and I don't remember who, he had quoted someone that said that you die 2 times. The first time is when you take your last breath, and the second time is the last time a person ever says your name. And that really got me to thinking about how I view immortality, because I view it as not necessarily somebody ever saying my name again or anything like that, but just by the lessons and the memories that they have with me. My grandma passed away 2 years ago on August 1st, and I was so traumatized by her death. I was really close to her. She raised me since I was 2. I was so traumatized by her death that I completely forgot everything she had ever taught me. It wasn't a sudden death. It was progressive. She was diagnosed with cancer in 2015, November of 2015, and she didn't make a year. And she was given 6 to 12 months to live. But I almost forgot everything that she had ever taught me. I remembered quite a few things. I remembered what she wanted after she died. I remembered how she wanted things to be done. But simple conversations that I had with her, really good memories that I had with her, were just gone. And that made me feel really, really sad. I didn't know what to believe anymore. I didn't know what to think. In a way, I felt like I was erased as a person myself because of how close I was to her. I felt my identity slip away a bit. My belief system was completely shattered. I didn't know if I still believed in God. I didn't know if all of my thoughts and everything that I was thinking was what I truly believed. And it's been quite a journey to get back to where I am today, where I know what I think and I know what I feel, and stuff like that. But anyway, that's kind of somewhat related. But she is still immortal, because I'll have occasional memories where it's like, oh yeah, that was a good day, or I made her laugh, or I made her really happy, or something like that. And with whoever I come into contact with, when we're talking about certain things, I'll remember my grandma and I talking about that and going, here's something interesting. Here's what happened when I had this conversation with my grandma. And she continues to live on that way. The people I mention her to may never remember her, but at least she still got out a little bit farther than what she did while she was living. But back to my original main point was obituaries and what we actually want them to say. My obituary was written with a logical point of view. I have, for as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to die exactly at the age of 100. I wanted to die in my bed, asleep peacefully. And it was brought to my attention, do you really want to die that way? Do you really want to just slip away peacefully in your sleep? For the longest time I thought, yeah, because I don't want to suffer. I don't want to be awake when I die. And I saw my grandma take her last breath. I saw that happen. I heard it happen. And at the time, I didn't want to put that on anybody either. I really didn't. I still don't. I mean, who would want to put that on anybody? But after being asked that question and after thinking about it for a while, I was given some really good ideas as to what would be a good way to die. And so I wrote this. Gabriella Jade Lewin. Mrs. Gabriella Jade Lewin, aged 93, died on November 18th of natural causes shortly after giving a speech about today's youth and the hope for their futures. Mrs. Lewin was born in Wheat Ridge, Colorado at Lutheran Hospital on August 15th, and she lived in Denver for most of her life. She obtained her master's degree from the University of Colorado at Denver and worked as a psychologist. She involved herself with the youthful community, helping them to grow and improve upon themselves. She has helped many youths throughout her time in the field, but also helped many before that. Her hobbies and interests included writing, reading, hiking, and camping. She is survived by her many siblings and her daughter. Funeral services will be held on November 25th at 12 p.m. at the Rundis Funeral Home. So for the class, I had to pick an actual funeral home that was around the area and just kind of do some realistic things like that. Since then, my mindset has changed a little bit. I'm okay with dying at the age of 93. To bump it up to 95, I'd be even better with that because I like things in those intervals 10, 15, 20, 25, etc. I'm okay with dying of natural causes, and I'm okay with the idea of dying after I give a really inspirational speech. That's how I kind of want to be remembered. I want to create a difference in a lot of people's lives, be it as a psychologist, like counselor, or in other ways. That's kind of what I just want to do. I want to influence other people to think bigger and to just have a really good impact on their lives and how they think. However, my thoughts of where I want to go for college in the future has changed, of course, as it would have, and I don't know if I'll be on Earth when I die. I might be on Mars. Yesterday, February 6th, 2018, SpaceX successfully launched the Falcon Heavy rocket. And that is big news for our future and the idea of going and living on Mars. So I'm kind of hoping to be there, maybe to shape future and what our lives are going to be like on Mars when we live there. It's currently very expensive, but I'm very hopeful and determined. But that brings me to my question. The thing that I've been pondering about for maybe the last hour. And that is, what do we want our obituaries to say? Who do we want to be remembered by? And if you only had 24 hours to live, what would you do? That's a big thing. That's a question that I have always asked, even way before my grandma passed away. I've been thinking about that since roughly 2012, 2013. Because it's an important question to think about. Because if you don't have an idea, that's not a bad thing. But if you do have an idea, that's not a bad thing either, or a good thing. It's just something intriguing to think about. So you never really know. You never really know, and it's interesting to ponder. Just like time. Time is also another interesting thing to ponder, which I actually plan on talking about in another video that I want to upload that I will make, possibly after this one. It's not going to get a lot of views, and I'm okay with that. But I wouldn't actually mind sharing my thoughts and my opinions about how things go. And this is not based off of any kind of research that I've done. It's based off of my own experiences, discussions that I've had with other people's, and just the way I perceive life, which is part of my experiences. But at the same time, at some point in the future, if either the videos get a lot of good feedback or whatever, I might consider doing, because I'm really interested in a lot of stuff, and to be able to discuss it with not only just people that I know, but also people out there, you guys out on the internet, would be fascinating and interesting to me, because I can learn a whole lot more that way, besides just researching myself or talking to people I only know. So, yeah, let's see how this goes. I'll make a few more videos, and if they kind of go off even with a small crowd, I'll continue. If not, that's okay. Anyway, have a good day, everybody. Nice talking to you. Bye bye.